Hey, what's up? Good morning, world. On Sunday morning, I feel happy, I feel healthy, I feel terrific. PMA, right? Um, this is how you're supposed to start the morning with positive mental attitudes and a little bit of meditation, programming, and affirmation. I have uh, absolutely one natural which allows me to just look around and see, yeah, I want this, I want that, uh, I want this, I want that, and a little bit of that white or any of the other. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Tesla and Tesla shares. It's a lot of rave on the financial advisor in YouTube that Tesla goes down and they losing and stuff like that. Well, I hope that it will drop up to $60-70, something like that. I'm not expert. I'm like the Americans call newbie to anything that you become new to, accustomed. So by see those financial advisor brokers and stuff like that, so-called expert on the internet and long-term advice and investments, it kind of makes me go weird and confused when I see how quick those long-term investors changing their opinion and investing strategy from day to day, week to week, month to month. It's like crazy to actually be serious about and listening all that stuff with serious with really serious plan to get to know information from them in order to make a move with your money, invest and stuff like that. Even that they rely so much on Buffett and many other things, and yet they doing a decision changing from week to week instead of just to, I don't know, assess the market and control the emotions. Seems to be that they know certain things about that, but yet they are flattering their emotion and they going like on the chart up and down. Ooh, crazy. I become new to that, and when I start to look into the shares and Amazon and General Electric and few others, like just to find out what is the rave about that, kind of, because it seems to be like booming, a lot of brokers and stock investors, shareholders, investors are booming on the internet, and advisors and experts and stuff like that. So it makes people, brings people attention to quick dime earning, quick flipping of the money that they save. Yet I would be very, very cautious about making decisions based on those flattered information that makes you play on your emotion, because long-term investment, I think, is probably the goal and the ultimate and only way, because every other thing, it requires so much specific and expert knowledge of following certain charts and information to be all the time ahead of the game. And no matter what, even if you are, there is some smart Chinese guy who try to use all the chart, all the graphs and computer and software and stuff like that. Yet you can find him. He's become famous, has a lot of viewers, and still lost a lot of money. So it seems to be like no matter what you do, it is a gamble, and you cannot predict and actually firmly establish and be sure that you can be ahead of the game with this kind of strategy, using the chart and internet and graphs and history and stuff like that to actually buy and sell. I believe few probably can make it, like always in the scheme of pyramid, that certain individuals are allowed to in Bitcoin or something like that, so that people can see that they can cream also. Okay, so you have to give them the bite of deception, and few people, that's my opinion, that's of course my opinion, that certain people need to bite the hook, so the followers will follow. Few leaders who's going to be very enthusiastic about the game, about the bitcoins, about the Tesla shares, about the financial finance expert on the internet, on the YouTube. So the other who are already for many years trying to establish themselves and trying to reap the profit, and somehow they learn some craft and skills, and now they sharing the information for their own profit. I started here because a few days ago there was a line of Tesla and BMW, 4 or 5 Tesla, who all got the tickets in the morning. So they had a bad start in the Monday morning, like in America. Massive percentage of people who get heart attack actually been discovered that it's happened on it's happened on Monday. I'm not shaking because I'm scared of that. I'm shaking because I have held my phone for so long that kind of become difficult for me, and it doesn't make nice recording probably, so forgive me for that. I might swap the other side, but this one over there, the tall Tesla over there, the big wagon, I think is P100D. I think it's the dual engine, and this is the fastest one that actually race on YouTube with Lambo or McLaren, Lambo. And actually in one of those videos he actually won, because the speed, the acceleration is actually an awesome in those cars and crazy. And even if he's gonna watch me, because he gave me the guy that I have privilege to meet. I'm saying privilege because the guy seems to be successful, had Tesla Roadster, great position in work here in Oslo, in Majorstuen place, where is Colosseum and an interesting area. So I was doing the video, recording actually something funny gig, continuation of my stopping video in the gym, and then he parked his car next to the Ferrari and asked me what I was doing. He was curious, so we start talk and exchange few information. I find out from him, from the first-hand knowledge, like that the Tesla apparently from his view don't have so much mechanics and service, like 5,000 I think what he say in whole Europe, or maybe the world, I kind of don't remember. So you have to wait in case something happened, but they fairly new, so I don't think it should happen anything. I said myself that, well, mostly rich people acquire those cars now, so Tesla already proved the electric cars have been sold, and in Norway a lot, and few other maybe countries. So the deal is done. The cars are already on the road. You cannot complain. No rich people, no me, no anybody, because things already happened. Um, Henry Ford couldn't do it. He produced some electric cars and then they were scrapped. Now Elon Musk pulled the deal, produced the cars, they are on the road. You can't stop it. That's the future. So even if there is not enough service and electrics, it doesn't matter, because logically, well, he say they are not the best, so they may be failing and there are problems and there is not enough. So maybe it is correct in a certain way, if they are not perfect and they failing in some way, and there is lack of engineers, servicemen and mechanics, then you have to wait in the queue or whatever. Then that's why it is still for the wealthy people. That's why they buying it and they can afford to wait. But I think as time go on, they invest in the Shanghai and in California or other places, Nevada or something. They build the factory and stuff like that, so you can't stop it. And surely very soon service will come into the place, especially like he say, the charging stations are amazing in especially in Norway, probably in other places in Europe. So everything accelerate and will catch up with the speed. So probably there is nothing to worry about, and these rich people who buying those cars actually helping with this patient to help him to catch up with everything. He said the BMW and Mercedes are much better. They have 100,000 or whatever. Well, they have been on the market long time ago, but yet at the same time they don't have the infrastructure, in my opinion, for running and fixing those cars, because that require different engineers, not only just to know how to change brake pads, engine remove and stuff like that, but actually to know more about all the apps, electricity and electric engine and many other things. So the engineers has to be updated. So there is new industry for new mechanics, new engineers and new servicemen on the road and in the garage. So I believe, from my opinion, that no BMW, no Audi, no Mercedes will take over, even if they are, we have those cars here, electric. I am convinced that Elon Musk will be the successful man who's going to provide the Tesla, improve and make it better, and this is going to be the future. He's innovated, he's pulling off everything what or even you might follow him much more than I and will say no, he doesn't, but blah blah blah. But I see the evidence. The cars are here, many people are driving them, so especially rich people, and the places are built in Shanghai and in America, so the things are happening in high rate speed. So plus we live in the time that I know this is actually the time, the right time, and it's gonna happen. That technology, you cannot stop it. And if he's the one who first vision that kind of concept of electric BMW, electric, that's a normal, there is a lot of them, vision his concept and put into practice, it is the same for me like Thomas Edison. Okay, invent and pull off the deal, and was the guy who create the value, create something is happened here. I don't know what's. Oh, owners are coming now. Someone broke to the property maybe or something, or there was a party or something. That's why the police is here. Yes, and owners coming. They come with this car. Now I see the glass is there, and the glass master with the wagon. Wow, no, that's not normal in Norway. Yeah, I better stay away from that. So it is like Thomas Edison, right? he invent uh, the concept of light wire, electric wires gone all over the world, and things happen. And whatever try do anything after him or even before, like Nikola Tesla, who tried to do the electricity, send it wireless 100 years ago, didn't happen. Maybe his dream was too much scattered all over, and he didn't think about profit but try to give it for free. And you can do that apparently in the world, make it things for free for people. So therefore winner was I might talk actually garbage now in that sense, but well, it kind of makes sense that commerce win again. You have to make a profit, nothing for free. Perhaps Nikola Tesla invention and mind was scattered all over too many things, and Thomas Edison perhaps was focused on one thing, and that's why he succeeded with his and maybe also he got support from other sources to keep actually this kind of concept, electric wires and that kind of industry. So that's what's happened. And Tesla are a lot of them in Norway, as you can see, and some of the days we have them so many all over the street, and especially in those places where is the dock. So I'm hoping that the Tesla shares will drop down to 60, 70, then perhaps I can make a move and buy some, because I believe it will accelerate to even thousands when everything grows up and whole world will be supplied with electric cars all over Europe and the world, and Africa, in India. That's the future. And then the shares will skyrocket maybe to actually 1,000. The evidence is on Amazon, the evidence is on other companies, like I cannot recall it now, Google. Okay, it starts from $18 or whatever. I'm not expert on that, but it's not difficult to figure it out, to understand that electric cars and Tesla is absolutely the future, and it's gonna explode to such a high position and rate that is probably hard to comprehend. It's gonna be like, that's the future. The oil industry will go away. So yes, looks like there was burglary or something. You're lucky now to actually see the event. Do you like this? Over there, the Reg MJ. Plus it is quite awesome, the paint and the dark glasses. Alright, that was Slavo. I will upload this on YouTube. Just be careful, do not decide with your money stuff on emotion. Sit back, examine and use your senses and logic, because one time I used MetaTrader, and only I'm glad that I was able to protect myself before I sent the money. I signature and I didn't allow them use more than 30% of my investment, and when I try to pull off the money, then the problem starts coming, like as often as they contact me to invest every day, every few days, Black Friday and many other things, I just see like my money goes up. But the trouble starts coming when you're trying to pay out the money, and this is where I start encounter problems. Now the guy was on holiday in France, was not available, and if I wanted I could take a small amount, and then it was just like so much like suspicion and fishy stuff. But I was able to, by effort and writing, crafting the right letters and investigation and stuff like that, and I was able to pull it off 500 after 500. But I discovered that this was actually fraud and scheme, how they actually perpetrated on people with the software, computer, app and they pretending that there is something going on like a Wall Street, and you are really buying stocks and investing in something when really it is like a game. Your money actually are there and manipulated on the software that you making money, but you are actually, they keep your money, and they just put up artificially your money. How can I put it? My hands are shaking and I'm kind of hungry, so I cannot put it into prospect what I'm trying to say now. But I discovered that it's manipulation. And what I see now on the internet, again, there is a guy who's popping up. He's like a Muslim, and he's encouraged everybody, if you are so good in the training, and take a shot and take a trial, and if you're going to be a good, I'll give you a few thousand or something for initial investment and stuff like that. I see this the same like Robert Ray Dalio, who work in the Wall Street industry. Wall Street, he did work in the Wall Street, and he take a part in the collapse of economy and fraud that take place. Today he's famous and he changed his life and he bankrupt and come back and stuff like that. But I see this cycle keeps repeating. People forgetting what's happened 10 years before, and they still keep investing into this bullshit, bogus, unfounded business that will usually plunder and rob even the smart people who are trying to reap a quick profit without understanding that you cannot really gain something for nothing. And this is going to be all the time the same way. You're going to invest your money and you're going to lose. The first bite and beat is going to be to hook you up, and later on when you're trying to pay out the money, it's gonna happen. I have to warn you and protect you, because I was kind of like if I would not be wrapped up in the law so good, I would not be able to recover my money, and also to understand how their scheme works. That's why I expose everything when I wrote to them, and I protect my money at the time when there was no risk and loss reported to me. I said, now we are stopping, I don't invest no more, you didn't report to me that I have any losses, so now I demand the money from you. This is very simple actually. Plus I wrote the letter and confirmation of my initial contract that I didn't allow you to invest more than 30%, and if to that moment that was no reported to me, no losses, therefore now you owe me the money plus the interest that I plus the profit that I made. So I didn't recover the profit, I just recovered my money, 500 after 500. It took a while to do it, but today I don't recall this kind of, but it's showing up in the ad so often now on the internet. The guy is booming and he's making fool out of many people, and many people, I believe, is gonna be deceived. So bear in mind, there is still a lot of deception, and if that is the Wall Street, or if that is the digital concept of making investment and buying into stock and shares and stuff like that, and trade, and it is just a joke, it is just illusion. It's gonna make fool out of you, and you're gonna lose it. You're going to lose it. No Kiyosaki, no Grant Cardone, no Gary Vaynerchuk, none of those serious people who make really money by hard labor and investment and long term of investing into their job, their trade, their expertise will do that. They know it's risky. They know. No Warren Buffett will do that. No any smart, wise person will do that. I've learned it, but I recovered. Many people didn't. After my experience, I've read a lot after the fact that people lost so much money. And I just warn you, the guy looked like Muslim, his bald head, toned, and he's like so positive, like you can make money, he's gonna help you, he's gonna give you this and that and tools and stuff like that. Yes, some people who's going to be working for him and deceiving others, they gonna make the profits, okay? But at some point when you're trying to pay out the money, the valve will be turned off and you're gonna lose it maybe before that, before you going to, because it's all control. They know upfront how they talk to you and what you know, what you feel, so they are ahead of the game. So be careful. Have an awesome day. Sunday. Slavo Oslo Real. Take care.